You're gonna hinder my investigation. So, I mean, we could do this easy or we could do it hard, and I really don't want to do it hard. I mean, we can, dude, I'm telling you, we can make this easy, we can make it hard.
You're not gonna give us your name?
I don't have.
Okay, turn around.
What am I being arrested for?
Obstruction. You want to play your game? So we played it.
Many of you have been asking for an update on the arrest of Derek Massie by the Jessup, Georgia Police Department. For anyone new here, Derek was walking home early that morning. He stopped along the side of the road to rest, and a so-called concerned citizen called 911 requesting a welfare check, not reporting a crime. Derek wasn't causing a disturbance. He hadn't driven anywhere. He wasn't bothering anyone. Yet he was arrested for resisting arrest. Everything you saw in the opening clip is exactly how that encounter unfolded. If you haven't watched the full arrest video yet, it's linked in the description, and I strongly recommend watching it from start to finish so you can see exactly what happened with your own eyes. Now let's talk about what's happened since. After Derek was taken to jail, his father spoke directly with Sergeant Parker. And what Parker said during that conversation set the tone for everything that followed.
What did y'all arrest him for, David?
There's this. So we had the legal reason to get out with him following a call where he was sleeping in a driveway. And when we got out with him, he refused to identify himself. And by law, he has to identify himself.
What crime?
We have legal reason to be out with him.
But what crime did he commit? Because Georgia's not a stop and ID state. I don't have to tell you this. You got to have a reasonable, articulable suspicion that he committed a crime. That ain't
sleeping on property, on somebody's property, and public intoxication. Not, he was intoxicated.
Not in the right of way. So now that's all going in your report, as opposed to just to resisting arrest. Okay. Because that's what it said. That's what he was booked on.
That is the charge that he was booked for, which is the same as obstruction. It's city.
That's a secondary offense, also.
Okay. Well, have a good day.
I knew that story would change.
Okay.
While all of this was happening, Jessup police didn't stay quiet. They went on the offensive. This article appeared in the local paper, and at first glance, it looks like an independent investigation cleared the officers involved. But if you read beyond the headline, you'll see the so-called investigation was nothing more than Jessup police reviewing themselves. Not the GBI, not an outside agency, not anyone independent. Just the city investigating its own officers. The article relies entirely on an internal review written by the city manager and the city attorney. That's not accountability. That's damage control. They claim the public simply didn't understand the circumstances of the arrest. But the officer's own body cam footage shows exactly what happened, and the full video is linked below. Watch it and decide for yourself. They also claim Derek was nearly struck by a vehicle, except their own department photos prove that never happened. And while Jessup was shaping this narrative through local media, something else was happening behind the scenes. According to the department, the original 911 call, the call that started all of this, has now been lost. The system supposedly failed during the exact window of Derek's welfare check, making every recording from that entire 24-hour period irretrievable. Meanwhile, in reality, Derek hadn't committed a crime. He hadn't driven. He wasn't disturbing anyone. Yet he was detained anyway. He was disarmed without lawful cause. He was threatened with having his dog taken to the pound. And the justification for detaining him changed every time officers were questioned. First it was a welfare check, then calls for alarm, then refusal to identify, then almost being hit by a car, then school safety. The story never stayed consistent. They dismissed a complaint made for these officers in under 24 hours, while ignoring my formal complaint for more than a month. While refusing to respond, they pushed their preferred version of events through friendly local media, newspaper articles, and radio editorials repeating police talking points without a single independent review. When I requested additional body cam footage, Jessup insisted in writing that no more footage existed, only to later release it and charge nearly $200 for video they previously claimed did not exist. And that brings us to the moment that says everything.
I tell you what, I was going to try and be nice and call somebody for the dog. I'm calling animal control.
Now, voice 3. Remember everything you've seen so far. Because after the arrest, after the detention, after the threats, and the constantly shifting stories, Jessup doubled down. They sent me one letter flatly stating that no additional body cam footage existed. Then they sent another estimating $191 for records they swore didn't exist. But the truth is, that footage did exist, and Jessup police had it the entire time. You honestly can't make this up. So what was he doing? I want to pause right here, because this is a very interesting way to begin a conversation. Part of Officer Lane's statement was cut off, and the first thing we hear him say is, "So, what was he doing? What was who doing? What conversation happened before the camera started rolling?" And notice the very first thing she responds with, "Oh, okay. So what were they really talking about before?"
So what was he doing?
So when I pulled in, it was right at the entrance down there, and he was just like balled up in a ball, like he was sleeping. Like I kind of, hold on just a second, Jordan. I kind of thought he was like homeless, and I was kind of scared to say anything. And then I pulled back up to him because I thought, crap, maybe this is a medical emergency. But then I was just like, no, we'll just call somebody because I'm here by myself. So
No, I don't blame you. Can you get your name?
yeah, Christy, Christy. EFAW. And then once I pulled back, EFAW, EFAW.
Okay.
Once I pulled back up to him, he started getting up. So then I parked and just stayed in my car with the doors locked.
126.
And then him and his dog walked off.
126.
But they kept looking back at the
Wayne
building.
076 CDC 1295 male, beginning mileage.
Okay.
Good morning.
Morning. What's a good phone number?
10-4.
And they may ask for your date of birth. Okay.
And I'm the head of school if they need to know that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
You too.
Voice 4. And that's it. That short, uneventful exchange. A principal mentioning a possible medical concern and a man standing with his dog looking back toward a building. Is the entire foundation Jessup PD used to suggest Derek posed some kind of threat to a school? No crime reported. No danger described. Just a welfare check. Yet this was the narrative they pushed. The narrative they used to justify detaining Derek, disarming him, threatening him, and ultimately arresting him. And when the facts didn't support that story, the narrative changed. Evidence vanished. Body cam footage was denied. If you want to see the next update, make sure you're subscribed. The city of Jessup appears determined to prosecute this young man for whatever they think they can make stick.